Gonna try to put something up once a month, going around checking the market out and seeing what's out there for sale. This first one up is a really crazy bike that showed up at Iconic. It's a 97 NSR 500V. I'm gonna go ahead and let Adam tell you about it. Then when he gets done talking about it, we'll show some still photos of it and see what it sold for.
I thought I'd give you a little tour real quick before I post up some still shots of the very first NSR 500V that came out of Honda, or HRC actually. This is the bike that they used to show the race teams what you could buy. You could essentially buy this bike back then for about 100 grand, something like that. Just like this. This is pretty much how it came. As this one has no miles, it's never used. You can see under there that cool dry clutch. This is the detonator counter, I believe Ollie was saying. As I pointed out in that last video, if you could hear me, carbon rotors. Just the basics. I love that single-sided swing arm. I like that Honda Racing logo on there. That really cool exhaust, this Kevlar. Look in here, you can see A19 in there. I took a picture of that earlier. Pretty much it. The gentleman had this remaining in the box for 20 years. Bought it from HRC Direct. For one of the employees of HRC actually. So it was, went on tour, sold to an employee, the employee sold it to our friend. What a bike.
That was Adam at Iconic Motorbikes. I figure who better to tell you about it than the guy standing there looking at it. He also mentioned the detonation counter. They started using those when they switched over from leaded fuel to unleaded. It was a lot rougher on the pistons. It really helped to keep track of all the damage that's going on. So the big question is, if you had owned the bike for all those years, would you have been able to leave it in the crate, or would you have had to have it out on display? The bike ended up selling for over $267,000 US, so the owner had to be happy with that selling price. Next up is an Aprilia Extenta from 2023. This one is number 56 out of 100, with only 48 of them making it to the United States. With a selling price of over $100,000 brand new, this one is offered with 0 miles and an asking price just over $69,000. This one is offered for sale at Iconic Motorbike Auctions on their Buy It Now page. Aprilia, taking all of its knowledge that it has received from MotoGP racing, has thrown everything they possibly could at this bike. Between the winglets, the motor, and all the electronics, it truly is a race bike. I know it's a limited market for this bike since it can't be titled. It only comes with a bill of sale because it truly is just a race bike, but it should look great in somebody's collection. Next up from Iconic also is a 2020 Ducati Superleggera, Italian for super light, with an asking price of $96,300 US. This one is number 136 out of 500 and only has 18 miles on it, so pretty much brand new. Ducati was able to shave off 100 pounds compared to the Panigale, using all kinds of carbon fiber with the frame, swing arm, and wheels. Fully race kitted, the bike would put out over 224 horsepower. Brand new, these bikes sold for over $100,000 US if you could get one, as they only brought 48 of these units into the United States. Next up is a full factory Bimota race bike offered by Cars and Classic. It will be going to auction. But this isn't just any Bimota. This is the one that Anthony Gobert actually won a World Superbike race with in 2000. Unfortunately, we lost Anthony Gobert in 2024. This SB8K Bimota is the last win for Bimota in World Superbike, and they have authenticated this bike to be that one, achieving that feat at Phillip Island in the rain. Bimota, known for building their own frames, using top-notch suspension, and using motors from some of the major manufacturers, truly builds works of art. This one is using the TLR 1000 motor. This is a chance to own a great piece of World Superbike history from one of the greatest riders, in my opinion. Next up is a 2006 2-mile Paul Smart Ducati green frame. It sold on Bring a Trailer with a selling price of $42,500. Ducati's 1000 LE retro style bike was made to commemorate Paul Smart's Imola 200 win in 1972. Pierre Treblanche actually nailed the styling on this one, really retro looking, but also had new components as suspension like Olin's. It was only in production for a few years, not making that many of them, but the price has steadily gone up on them ever since. They're kind of more sought after now than they were when they were brand new. They're just a beautiful retro bike with new components on it, so you could actually ride it today. I've heard many a times that they're pretty stiff to ride and a little uncomfortable, but it's a price for looking cool, I guess.